Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A. We go over all latest news during the week of mobile and answer your question live. If you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comment section down below and I will answer it before the end of the show. Now, first of all, I do want to say Happy 4th of July to anyone who lives in the U.S. As Team America movie, to quote them, America, F yeah. So really just a fun day, lots of fun. My daughter got to go with some of her cousins so they can enjoy the fireworks. And yeah, it was just really nice to share some difference compared to last year. I will say this though, because we have fireworks obviously going off, I do apologize for that because obviously neighbors are doing fireworks around, and I will have a hard stop at 9 p.m. because 2 cities near me are doing a fireworks event at 9 p.m. tonight. So just letting you know. Now, let's get to all of the news of everything that leaked, including all the pricing, and some of it has me pretty excited. All right, so first and foremost, we have the Z Fold 3. We pretty much know everything about this device now. It is going to have an S Pen. However, just as we used the term last week, it is a hashtag side pen because the S stands for side, since it will not be in the device. It will be a case like this that you can basically attach to it, which will make the phone wider as well, so just keep that in mind. That being said, that is going to be the main thing that we know about it. The other thing we know about it is all the cameras now. Unfortunately, the camera sensors are going to be the same from last year. Basically, no real changes in the camera sensors. It's going to be the same camera as the S21 has. So that is a little disappointing just because you aren't getting really good exceptional quality. I mean, they're fine for the regular main camera, but for telephoto and for wide angle, it's not going to be the best out there. There's definitely other Androids, especially in this price range, that will take way better photos, including the S21 Ultra itself. Now, the biggest thing is, I will say, well, hold on, before we get to that, this green color. I mean, okay, I've already said that I'm not going to be buying this, but I will say that, dang you, Samsung, that is something that it really just gets to me, because I really, that green is so beautiful. I will say that. I hope they have a green style for the Flip, although I don't think that they will from what we've seen. But I do love that style. The biggest thing though that we have to discuss is that we are hearing that it is confirmed that it will be, again, announced August 11th, and it will be released on August 27th at a $1,600 price point. That is pretty impressive because obviously it's a $300 price drop. I quite frankly do believe they need that though, because again, I don't think this phone is as compelling as before. Again, from just the initial wow factor has a little bit worn off, and the fact that you're getting a lower quality battery and camera compared to an S21 Ultra or what would have been a Note during this time, I don't think it's going to get as many people as they expect. I personally believe that this one will honestly be a failure, quote unquote, compared to the Flip 2. Let me know what you guys think though, if you do agree with me on that or not. However, the one that I am very excited for has to be the Galaxy Z Flip 3. I love this two-tone style. It's very reminiscent of the Pixel, and it just really looks good. But this is the big thing, that apparently we are looking at a sub-$1,000 smartphone, which would mean $999. If this comes in at $999, I think this is going to be a hit. And again, that's normal price, right? So if you think of a trade-in phone and all of that kind of stuff, that is really big. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, because that is one thing I'm like, wow, that is a really, really good price point, and I'm definitely getting it at that price point. Like at $1,000, I will definitely get a Flip 3. I think that's an amazing price point for the phone. I think it would do very well. Let me know what you guys think, but I think that's a wow factor phone for sure. Let me know what you guys think, but I think that is so, so cool. and something that, again, I would definitely recommend for $1,000 to get. Again, you're getting pretty much everything on the S21, right? So you're getting a Snapdragon 888 processor, you're getting the 120 hertz processor, you're getting car alarms going off just out of anticipation for it, and you're getting a 1.8-inch front display this time around, so much bigger display. I think this really is something that I think could do very, very well in all aspects. But let me know what you guys think. For $1,000, I'm definitely getting a Flip 3. All right, and then we have the Galaxy Watch 4. Now, we showed our first images of the Galaxy Watch 4 normal version, which is kind of like the active model now, last week. But now we have the Galaxy Watch 4 Classic. So we do have confirmation that we are getting both watches finally. Last week was a little bit shaky because there was no mention of another Galaxy Watch. It was just a Galaxy Watch 4. But now we get the Classic, which is my preferred one. This is a physical bezel as opposed to a touch bezel. So with that being said, the designs look great. There's 3 colors that's coming in. I like the black on black. It's just definitely a favorite of mine, just the way I liked this one. I love that black on black style. It's a very sleek style for sure. Let me know which color is your favorite. But I think the look is good. I like that it's thicker. Again, we do know that the bigger size, the 46mm variant, is going to have a bigger battery compared to the Galaxy Watch 3. Still not as big as the Galaxy Watch originally was, which was the longest battery life of any smartwatch, but just something to note. And then we also have, it's not on here, it's on the next article. Okay, so confirmation that it's actually apparently going to be August 11th that the watches will come out. So the watches will come out earlier in comparison to this. So basically that is something to note, that they'll both be announced, but they'll come out on the 11th in comparison to the other devices. The other thing you're going to want to know is that it is going to be raising the price point, unfortunately. So it looks like we will be getting up to $627 and $592 for the bigger variant. So that is a bit of a price hike in comparison if you compare to last year's, which were, going more in the $400 price range. These are going to be a little bit more expensive in comparison to it. So we'll have to wait and see. Again, these are leak prices, but that is something that you have to note, that these are going to be basically more money. Now, I don't know if this is because of the fact that, again, because this is Wear OS now, Samsung is apparently doing, has to pay licensing fee to Google. So that could be part of the price hike, that this is going to be indeed more money than before. So we'll have to wait and see. I still hope that it will be $470, because so what they're doing is converting the money. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes it does stay at the price point. So I do think that we're going to see a $470 to $500 price variations in this. They are saying they are converting it from euros to dollars, but usually it's the same amount. So I think we're going to be seeing a $470 to $500 price point in comparison. We'll have to wait and see, but going from, a $400 price point, a $350 price point, that is a huge price hike. So it's something you have to look out for these watches. Keep in mind, you are probably going to get a really good trade-in value if you do have a Galaxy Watch 3 or a Galaxy Watch 2. So make sure to keep that in mind, because that is going to be one thing you're going to want to do, is trade in a Galaxy Watch 2 active, trade in a Galaxy Watch 3, whatever watch you have, it's going to be the time to trade it in. Okay, and then we also have reports of the first 3nm chip that's going to be coming at the end of next year, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, at the end of next year, and then products will be coming out in 2023. So it's still 2 years away, but this is big, obviously. We're going from a 3nm or 5nm to a 3nm. So it just keeps getting smaller and smaller, and Intel and Apple are going to be the first to use it. However, you have to realize how this is going to be for Intel. Intel will also be probably helping out with manufacturing it as well. They are building a plant for that. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the processor market will look in a few years. Now keep in mind that Apple is of course getting this from TSMC, whereas Intel has a different kind of partnership. They will also help manufacture some, just because this is where the money is. So Intel is going that route. Instead of only buying chips, they're also going to now be manufacturing their own, just because so many other people are making money from it. All right, and lastly, I did want to talk about Google TV. It's come a long way, and lately I have been seeing a lot of changes, which is Google TV has started integrating some of the different things on here so you can have a mainstream. So basically, when now you have a live TV section, and it is my Sling TV, but it'll also connect to Fubo TV or of course YouTube TV. So Google TV is quickly becoming the best streaming device that I would recommend over a Roku, over a Fire TV. It is just getting to be the best interface, and it's partnering with all the big players so that you can always continue where you left off from all the apps. So it really is something that I would just say that, man, this is something that's getting really good. And something I just wanted to point out, because this is something I have been noticing, more and more services are coming to it, which means basically you can continue where you left off in all of them. I have actually been really enjoying that because I don't have to go back into the app. I just see what I was watching before and start playing it again. And when you have a family of 4 in the house, this is really useful because, you know, you have so many people watching different things that you can just click each of what we're watching ourselves. So yeah, just wanted to update on that, and it's a really good update in my opinion. All right, guys, now that being said, that was the news. Again, Galaxy Watches are going to be raising in price about $50 to $100, depending on the Galaxy Watch and depending on the leaks we're hearing. Also, the Flip 3 is going to be at $1,000, which makes it the best foldable device, I think, bar none. And the Galaxy Watch Fold 3 is going to be at $1,600. Out of all those products, which is the one you plan on buying? And again, for me, the Flip 3 at that price point is just perfect. And the Fold 3, again, I like the color, but I will not be keeping that device. And then the Galaxy Watch 4 for me, definitely getting it and definitely trading in my Galaxy Watch 3 in order to get it. So I definitely believe if you have a Galaxy Watch 3, trade it in for this watch. That is my definite advice. All right, guys, now again, go ahead and start asking your questions in the comment section down below, and I will answer them before the end of the show. What are your thoughts on one Gateway laptop seen at Walmart? So actually Gateway has multiple laptops at Walmart. I'm not sure if there's only one in store, but there are many definitely that they sell. Walmart basically bought the rights to Gateway, so that's why they are doing that. Overall, I don't know about Gateway. I mean, look, the pricing is really good, but it's just, I will say that their quality in their gaming laptops, Walmart had some gaming laptops that they were starting to make, was not that good. So, I don't know. I feel like it hasn't proven itself enough yet, but they are Walmart branded laptops. That's what a Gateway laptop is. I still at this point would feel more comfortable getting another device. Like Dell had a really good one on sale for, I think it was like $600 or something like that, or $615. And it was everything you could need. It was like a Ryzen 7, 16 gigs RAM, 512 storage. And that one was on sale recently. So yeah, there's a lot of them for sure. Let's see. What's the best car charger for your phone? Good question, Paul. I haven't looked at them for a while. The main thing you want to look in a car charger is PD charging, and it depends on what you want to charge in your car. Because, you know, you could want to charge a phone, or you could want to charge a laptop or something along those lines. So it really depends on that. What are you looking for in a car charger? Let's see. Yeah, there's some 42 watts. There's Anchor, of course, which is always a good quality. So, like, this is a good one for phones. And I do have this one. I've bought it before. But this one is a good one for phones, right? So it's 49.5 watts. What that means is you're getting 30 watts from the PD charger, so from the Type-C cable, and then up to 18 watts on the bottom USB. So that is your overall charging speeds, which is good. Like, this would charge, you know, this would charge a laptop if it's off, and it's a 13.3 inch. However, there are 70 watt plus chargers that also work as well. So let me just send this. So Anchor 49 watt charger. So that I just put in the link in the description. I will look more for that though, to find the absolute best one, because there are definite ones that are, like I said, are like 73 watt chargers, and those are going to be 60 and others. So this one's a 48 watt charger. It's not as good, but yeah, I'll look before our weekly deals, and I'll find one that can charge a laptop of more wattage as well. But that's a good one to go with for sure. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of fireworks going on. Thank you guys. Larger iPads coming soon, I'm hearing. Next year, actually, from what I've heard. But that is funny, right? Because we've been talking about, I just find it so hypocritical of the tech community. We've been talking that there was going to be a new Samsung tablet that is going to be a 14-inch tablet. And everyone was like, oh, that's way too big. No one should make one that big. It's just not right, and all this kind of stuff and everything like that. Now the new iPads are basically following suit, and it's all good. So I have not heard the same kind of outrage of the actual quality as comparing to the Samsung one. So I was just like, really? But I guess that's what it always is. But yes, new iPads would come next year with that big of a screen size, not this year. Let's see. Love your channel. Well, thank you, Michigan Gal. How much do you think the Watch 4 will cost? What do you think the trade-in will be for the Galaxy Watch 3? I think the Galaxy Watch 3 will get you $200 off, to be quite honest. Who will be responsible for software updates, Sam or Google? That's both actually, typically, because Google tends to update the software. They give it to Samsung. It's kind of like on a smartphone, right? Google updates the software, then they give it to the manufacturer, and the manufacturer updates it from there. That's exactly how it will be with the watches, just like it is with smartphones. The only difference is with smartphones, sometimes you have carriers get in the way, so that is one obstacle that you won't have with the smartwatches. Unless you get a carrier version. Your thoughts on the Western Digital MyBook scandal? Funny you say that, because I actually do have a MyBook right there. And if you saw that red light, it's because I disconnected it. Obviously, until that hacking issue is done, the thing that's recommended is to disconnect it from the internet. That's what I've done. I definitely recommend doing that. So that's definitely something that I would recommend that anyone would do if you are trying to, if you have a NAS system from Western Digital. They are going to patch it. Until that patch is out, disconnect it from the internet, and just unfortunately don't use it on the meantime. It's not ideal. It's really sucky, but it's something that, again, when there's a vulnerability, this happens all the time too. Like I'm not trying to out Western Digital specifically. They have an external hard drive that's connected to the internet. Basically, all of their external hard drives that connect to the internet found a backdoor, basically. So they have to update it with software, patch it, so that that issue won't continue. That is something that, we've seen iPhones have this, we've seen Androids have this, Windows has it like, at least once a year, and MacBooks have it once a year too. So it's just something that's continuous. Sorry, again, I do apologize for all the fireworks sounds that you guys are probably hearing. How was the service? How was the service for your father? Any issues? Thank you for asking that. Yeah, we did have the mass for my father that we didn't get to back in February when he did pass away. It was good. It was good. My family really liked it. They really loved it. I created like a video montage for him, and I gave a speech eulogy kind of thing. So, yeah, I think it was good. I think my mom really liked it. She's more at peace now because he feels that she feels that he's at peace. So yeah, that's everything to say about that. Google, don't forget 51st date question. Thank you, Basic Tech. You beat Quiet Storm 2 it this week. But yes, if you don't know, 51st Date Questions is, of course, the game that I created. It's a game you can get right now on the Google Play Store or iOS Store. Link is in the description of the video. Basically, it's a really fun dating game app that basically, if you're out on a date, whether it be a first date, whether it be 10 years plus date, it's just a great time to do while you're waiting for your food. Just kind of see where the other person's mind is at. I feel like a lot of times on a first date, you don't know what to say, so this is a great icebreaker. And if you've been with a person for a long time, you kind of catch up on, hey, what's going on with you? It's free, again, in the stores, links in the description, so go ahead and download it. All right. What do you think of the QN90 Samsung QLED? It's funny that you mentioned that one. I've actually purchased the QN85A from Samsung QLED. I didn't see that much of a real difference, and it was about a $800 difference even with the sale. So overall, I did decide to get it. Samsung had a really quick discount that I believe ends today, where basically if you bought an S21, you got $500 off of a TV on top of whatever promotion the TV had. So I had my student discount. I had I told you guys how to get a student discount before. I got a student discount. On top of that, I got the the sale that it was on, and then the $500 on top of it. So I pretty much got a $3,000 TV, a 75-inch $3,000 TV for about $1,800. So that was really cool. I was like, man, that is awesome. Like, over $1,000 off basically, and yeah, really nice. So yeah, and plus I'm getting an S21, which I'm trading in an old Note 8 for it. And with that S21, the really great thing about that is when trading in that S21, of course, I'm going to just trade in the S21. So I paid $600 for the S21. That S21 will give me a $500 trade-in easily with the next phone purchase. So I basically am spending $100 for that and getting $500 back. So yeah, all good in that aspect. Let's see. But yeah, so that's the TV I am getting. So I will be reviewing it, showing you guys all the features, all the tips and tricks to it too. There's a lot of reasons to get a Samsung TV right now that I personally wanted to get an upgrade to. So definitely recommend it. And yeah, I'll be showing you all kinds of stuff about it. Do you know the trade-in value for the Samsung watches? No. If I had to guess, like I said, I think the Galaxy Watch 3 will be $200. I think the Galaxy Watch 2 Active would probably be about $150. And I think the Galaxy Watch will probably be about $100. That's where I would guess the trade-ins for the watches. I do believe if you have older than that, you are going to get less than $100. I could be wrong, but I think maybe the Gear S3 will be like $80, things like that. I don't think they're going to be worth as much if it's over 3 years old, specifically because Samsung has already said they will not be upgrading those watches, basically in terms of software updates. You get 3 years of software updates after its release, which means that basically if you have a Gear S3 or older, you're not getting any more software updates. How is the supply chain for PS5? As I know, it's still not as good as where we want it to be. AMD and Nvidia are still facing stuff. With the recent restrictions in China, though, that might let up a little bit in terms of some graphics cards. China recently restricted a lot of Bitcoin mining over there, so that could relieve some interest. By the way, again, there's no better time to get into. I have some more helium videos going, but as I've told you guys before, if you haven't watched my videos of the thousands of dollars, I've made over $5,000 in helium tokens right now from the helium miner I bought. Uses almost no electricity. Does it's a set and forget it kind of thing. I have 3 of them now, so yeah, just something to really look into. But that, I think, mining is going to go up, because this kind of mining of using high energy is really basically an issue now that is starting to be regulated. So I think you're going to see more and more of that as time goes on. But because of that regulation in China specifically, I think you're going to see a little bit more leeway in terms of graphics cards for the rest of the year. I still think we're going to have a shortage, but I have seen already 2 people that I know get a TI 3080. So that's impressive. Like, I mean, that was not able to be purchased before without going ridiculous pricing. So that is a really cool thing for sure. I've seen a laptop, HP NVX 30, 2-in-1, 16 gigs RAM, 512, Intel. What is the processor and what's the price, Howard? And I can tell you if it's a good price point or not. Yeah, sorry about the graphics, sorry about the fireworks. I know they can be distracting. Ricky, when Android apps come to Windows 11, will this affect sales of Chromebooks? Very good question. Here's the thing. I think Chromebooks are still going to be at a cheaper price, unless, look, if Windows really starts, I would still say you can get Chromebooks for cheaper prices than you can with Windows computers. I would say typically $100 to $200 less. You can get a Chromebook. You can get a Chromebook for the same price as a Windows computer, for the same specs kind of thing. So I think that is the biggest thing that I will say to look out for in terms of that we're going to see maybe a price drop in Chromebooks. But also, I'm very curious to see more processors like Qualcomm and MediaTek come to Chromebooks. We saw the first batch of this year and the end of last year weren't the best, to be quite honest, but very curious to see the follow-ups. Because the 7C on the Acer laptop, I was all gung-ho about getting it. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out that good, so that really kind of sucked, because I was so excited to get the Acer with the Qualcomm processor, because I thought Android apps with Qualcomm, this should work really well. But the 7C, unfortunately, did not run very well. So, Google still needs some refinement when it comes to that. But keep in mind, the store is a lot bigger on the Google Play Store for Chromebooks than the Amazon store. Not to mention that this is not going to be APK files, so you cannot sideload them. It's literally going to be all Amazon has, and they have to be designed for Windows 11 as well. So Amazon is going to release an official list of the first apps that are compatible, and it's going to start letting developers know what they have to do in order to update their apps to be compatible with Windows. So all that being said, I don't think it will affect Chromebooks in the next year. Following that and seeing how much it develops, we'll have to wait and see. Also, you have to keep in mind, Google has Fuchsia OS in the back pocket, so I think that could be something very interesting to come about as soon as they do. Because I think Fuchsia OS, if we see Fuchsia OS take over Android and Chromebooks, you're going to see something just take off because you will literally have what we've always wanted, essentially a mobile operating system and a laptop operating system complete. Will it have, you know, it can potentially outdo macOS. It can potentially outdo everything out there. So that's what's really interesting. Thanks for having such a great show. Yeah, I'm so sorry about the fireworks again. I can't really say it. How goes the progress on the YouTube Tech Girls new channel? So it won't be YouTube Tech Girl. We did change the name of it to just suit more an overall arching channel. But I'm giving my daughter time before starting a show, before starting a channel. She has to practice, and again, hers is going to be more her doing it, and me editing. So it will be a bit different from obviously my son's one where I'm really doing it, and he's going to be interacting with toys at the beginning. I think next week, by the end of next week, you're going to see him in the first video. But it's really a different kind of aspect all around for sure. What are you playing on PS5, man? Right now I am starting. So I got the Final Fantasy Remake interlude. So I got that upgrade for PS5. I already finished the game on PS4, so I changed over to PS5. The transfer was a little bit tricky, but once you got it, it was a one-time thing. I am finishing all the side quests and all the stuff that I missed along the regular Final Fantasy VII game, and now the remake, and now I'm going to do the Yuffie stuff, probably starting next weekend. I've been trying to give myself some time as well, too, but in terms of the job hunt, I think I will most likely have a job by the end of this month, it looks like. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. I have 2 more interviews this week for different other jobs, but one job already sent me an offer letter. So unless I get a better offer, I'm going to take that one, and that'll be at the end of the week. It is only a contract job, so basically get in there, help everything out, and do that kind of stuff. So we'll see. But yeah. Came in late for the price of the Watch 4. Questions. How do you still... Question for host. Do you still use Samsung TV at home from a couple years ago? So yeah, so first off, I have the watch prices for the Watch 4 are going to be $50 to $100 more, depending on the smaller variant or the bigger variant compared to years prior. So you're looking at $450 to $500 possibly in terms of the Watch 4 Classic. The regular Watch 4 will be cheaper, but that is just something to know. Do I still have a Samsung TV? Yeah, I have a Samsung QLED 6 series TV, which was the beginning entry level of the QLED. So, you know, I couldn't afford the biggest and the best QLED. I mean, those are just insane prices in my opinion. I never spent more than $1,000 on TV. This new one, I got a $3,000 TV. It was on sale with all these discounts for about $1,800 with tax. So that being said, this is the new most amount of money. But luckily, it looks like I will be able to sell my old TV for about $700 or $800. If I do that, then I will be selling that TV. So then I'm going to be, again, doing about $1,000 for a TV. And plus, I did in the 24 months Samsung financing. So yeah, I think that's a really good way to go. But the new Samsung TV features are just phenomenal. So I definitely will be going over those in the video, but phenomenal for sure. Ricky, you can download APKs from Windows 11. This was confirmed by a Microsoft engineer. So from what I had heard, that actually an engineer from Microsoft confirmed that you can't do it. The APKs were not the way that it was installing it. It was installing it the new file style, not APKs anymore. So you could sideload if it was a new, it's not a new file, it's a new type of way that they're installing on Android now, and that's how they're going to do it on Windows. But again, from what we've heard, that it's not going to work right if it's not through the Amazon store. Again, all this could be changing to that, but I had heard actually an engineer said that would be unable to do the regular side loading like an Android phone because they're not doing APKs themselves. Could be wrong on that, but that is what basically getting from it. That HP laptop, it's priced at $1,079, Intel 11th gen. So I'm guessing it's an i7 processor. So let's see, i7 processor, 16 gigs RAM, 512 storage. It's fine. I'm guessing it's a 13.3 inch as well, so you do pay more money for that. It's fine. It's not, I would say, a phenomenal price or anything like that. I would say it's pretty much a standard price from the laptops that I see every week on sale. So I've definitely seen some with those same specs for like $899. But again, it's an HP high quality, you know, probably build to it. So it's not a bad price. It's just not a phenomenal price. Let's see. Any advice on bright, compact, white LED on Amazon to make a computer reading room brighter? On a white LED light from Amazon to make computer reading room brighter. No. I don't. I'm guessing you mean like the little lights that go on top of monitors. I've never bought those, so I honestly don't know about it. My family went digital in terms of our reading a long time ago. So like my wife was, you know, one of the dead set, like I like books, physical books and everything like that. But as Kindles got better, she always gets the top of the line Kindle basically every year. Except for the Oasis, she didn't need that, the waterproofing kind of thing. But I mean, yeah, I just think it's definitely, we just have gone all e-readers, and you know, I use my phone for most of my reading. So yeah, I don't know what kind of light to get on top of one for better reading, just because all of the things I read on are self-lit. 19 years and they're coming out with Metroid Dread on Nintendo Switch. Yeah, they are. It's funny, I have never been too much involved in the two of the big franchises on Nintendo. Link, the whole Zelda series. I've just never been into it. Hyrule Warriors was the only game that I kind of played, and of course I knew none of the lore going on with it. And the other one would be Metroid series. I never really played it. I played Mega Man and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know what was it. Like I just never got into Metroid. But I know that one a little bit more, the story of Samus a little bit more compared to Link. But yeah, it's just one thing I've never really gotten into. I don't know why. For Nintendo, I'm just more of the party games. I like the Mario Karts, the Mario Parties, and those are the real ones that I always play for the Switch. And my family is obsessed with Animal Crossing. Just, I don't know. Let's see. How big is your TV? My current TV is a 65-inch TV, and my new TV will be a 75-inch. You know, wanted to get a little bit bigger TV this year. You did just a little bit bigger. And yeah, but I mean, I think 75 inches pretty much where I'll stay for the next 3 years, and then maybe I'll start seeing everyone get the 80 inches plus, and I'll be like, I need to get a bigger TV. But yeah, no, 75 inches I think is a good place, and they're actually way more at that price. Or that size. Like I was like, oh man, all these TVs are so light, you know, because modern day TVs are so light. But that one's actually like 75 pounds. I was surprised by that weight because I wanted to make sure my current mount could take it. My current mount is like 120 pounds weight that it could take, so it's fine. But yeah, I was kind of curious about that. I was like, oh dang, that's a lot. What are the best things you think will come out of the new Black Widow movie? So the one thing I will say, I have heard the end credit scene is really good in that one. Don't know what it is, but that one is something that I'm very curious about. But yeah, I cannot wait for the Black Widow movie. I'm seeing it this Thursday in theaters. So happy to be back. You know, got all my friends coming with me. I think we're like 8 or 9 people coming. So it's going to be a for sure fun thing that I cannot wait for sure. It's a return to the movie theaters for me, and I am so hyped about it. Would you recommend a Chromebook or Windows for someone starting school? It depends on the school level. I would say you should not use a Chromebook past high school. I think you can get away, definitely, elementary through middle school. So, you know, whatever grade, first grade basically to 8th grade, easily Chromebook. You should not get a Windows computer. High school can be tricky because it depends on the person. You know, it depends on the school. It depends on what they're using mostly for. You could require certain programs that will require a Windows computer. But unless they do, I would still say Chromebooks should be fine for most students. It really is like Chromebooks are more and more like the future in terms of everything you need is on the web, right? And unless they need photo editing or things like that. And again, Chrome has, you know, apps that you can use. So you can use Android apps. That is why I do recommend if you do get a Chromebook though, get a touchscreen one because Android apps work better with touchscreens. They're designed for it. So get a touchscreen if you plan on getting a Chromebook, especially one with a pen, and it'll be a really good experience, I feel like. So definitely would recommend that more so. But college is where I feel like you're Windows at that point. You need Windows once you get to college for most people because most colleges require certain websites that are so outdated and they will not work on Chromebooks. So that's what I recommend in my experience. Wow, the fireworks are going crazy and because we're getting closer to 9. What are your thoughts on the Amazon Firestick? I hear there are problems with the file links. Curious. So Amazon Firestick, the only reason that ever sold is because I truly believe it's always been inferior to Roku and it's inferior to Android TV. But compared to Google TV, Firestick is way inferior. Like Google TV is way better. The difference that I will say that Amazon really had going for it is the Fire Cube. So the Fire Cube is really good because you can turn on the TV with your voice because it's a box that has an Alexa speaker that connects to your TV. Same reasons why I think the best voice assistants are ones on a soundbar. If you have one on a soundbar, which again, Amazon has had them, that's going to be some of the biggest things I definitely recommend. So that's what I think about it. But in terms of an actual operating system, I think both Roku and Google TV specifically are the best ones. Now, Google TV does need more storage. I'm very excited for hopefully this year getting a new Google TV with a bigger storage. Now, Google TV is different from Android TV. Android TV is on a lot of TVs built in, like TCL, and all these different brands have Android TV. Google TV is a different one. It's a newer one, and it's a better one. So that is one that I really, really recommend for most users going forward. But it just doesn't have that much storage. So if you do need a lot of different apps, if you have a lot of different services, that is one that is kind of tricky. Like you can't get away with more than 10 apps on a Google TV. Maybe even 8, depending on how big they are. But that is one thing to note when you're selecting one. Ricky, did you see Fast 9? I was disappointed. For me, Paul Walker made the Fast Furious series. I definitely think, was it called Fast 7 or Furious 7? What was the last one with Paul Walker? That one was the peak. And unfortunately, since that, it's gone downhill. It just hasn't been as good. And yeah, I do think that Paul Walker brought a perfect balance to it, for sure. Of course, they hinted at this movie that they're going to bring his character back, possibly through one of his brothers for the last movie. There will be a Fast and Furious 10. So possibly for the last movie, his character might come back in the form of one of his brothers. And if you have seen his brothers, they do look like him. Not exactly, but relatively. Like if you're recasting, it's a way of the family and everything like that. Obviously, I do think they should have acting lessons and everything. So yeah, it's just something to think about. But I was a little disappointed. I mean, they went too much, and they poked fun at it too, of the ridiculousness in Fast 9 compared to the others. But yeah, so it was fine. It was fine. I liked everything with Han. Han was one of my favorite characters, so having him back was a big thing for me. I was like so disappointed. I thought him going away was a big issue too. So him coming back was a really thing I loved about it for sure too. Is there going to be a difference in Google Watch and Samsung watches? So we don't know if there officially will be a Pixel Watch this year. There was rumors early on, but then once Samsung partnered with Google, are they still going to make one? Possibly, but I think the incentive would be way less, seeing as how the Samsung watches, Samsung is making the Pixel 6 this year. So considering they're making the Pixel 6, I don't see them not making the Pixel Watch as well. If you didn't know, HTC, or what's left of HTC, has usually made most of the Pixels. Now, this year, Samsung's making it because they're in better conditions, and Taiwan, because it's been hit harder than most, is not going to be able to scale it. So because of that, Samsung is going to be making all the Pixel 6 watches, all the Pixel 6 phones. So I believe they would make the Pixel watches as well. Because of that, I just don't see... I mean, the only reason I think they would make a Pixel Watch this year is to make a cheaper Pixel Watch. So that, you have the Samsung watches at $300, $400, and $500, and maybe a Pixel Watch in $250 price range. Maybe that is the reason, but that's the only reason I see a Pixel Watch being a possibility. I definitely do not think it will be a high-end Pixel Watch this year. Fireworks starting to die down over there. It's 12 a.m. over there. Yeah, they're just getting started over here. Happy 4th. Thank you, Luca. Pre-ordered yesterday, the Xperia One III got free Sony Buzz and Call of Duty points. Really looking forward to getting it. Any takes on it? What do you think? For me, I would say look at 2 reviews. One from a person that really likes it, and one from a person that was disappointed in it. Juan Carlos Bagnell, friend of the channel's, he has always been an advocate for the phones that don't get all the hype, but that really are perfect for niche users. But one person that I always respect, and one person that I always think he does such a good job overall, is Michael Fisher. So Mr. Mobile's review on that phone, it's a 16-minute long review. He did a very extensive review. And for me, it just showed that it's a great phone for manual controls, but it's not a point-and-shoot kind of phone, especially in the variable camera is such a cool concept, but it's first gen for Sony. So I think the Mark IV version is going to be the one to get. Just a lot like their R100 Mark IV was definitely the one to get. That was the breakthrough year one. So for me, I wouldn't get it because I seeing both reviews and hearing both sides of 2 men that I highly respect, it isn't for me. I liked a lot of things about it. I love the speakers. I don't like that you can't turn off the 4K display it seems like you should be able to do that at least when it comes to, you know, developer options. Like, I don't see why you can't turn off that 4K display when it comes to battery life. It's just, and that's obviously one of the biggest points about it. But yeah, so I think again, if you like manual controls, really like that, front-facing loudspeakers, those are probably the highlights. But for me, I am a more auto shooting. I'll change the EV. That's about it. I don't need more manual control than that on my phone. I will carry the camera that I'm filming this with, a Sony ZV-1, if I really want to do more manual stuff. That means I have to carry something extra. Why would I want to do that? Well, it's because, I don't know, it just feels more like that's what it's for. But let me know what you guys think. Again, that's just my opinion on it. I don't have it, I haven't used it, so these are just two reviewers that I respect highly. Sorry, these fireworks are getting crazy tonight, guys. I keep thinking last year there was a sea of fireworks over Los Angeles on July 4th, so I'm really curious if that will be the same thing this year. Why is Sony failing in smartphones? They have so much experience and no one buys Sony's phones. Sony goes for a niche, and in my opinion, they're going for the wrong niche. They go for their camera and screen niche. Which, my thing is, Sony, your most successful division for everything is your gaming. Your gaming makes more than your camera sensors, which your camera sensors is on every single smartphone, and your software is impeccable. Like, almost every YouTuber uses a Sony camera or a Red camera by far as the top main two cameras. For every, you know, YouTuber that's making over $1 million a year, they're using one of those cameras. They're using Sony or they're using Red. And everyone else does use Panasonic, like me. I use Panasonic for my main camera up there. And we use other ones. But even like this camera, I've fallen in love with, and it's a Sony camera. So I really just think that if Sony really made a play for PlayStation customers, I think they would do so much better than making a play. And again, combine it with everything else they're doing. But yeah, that's my thing, that I think Sony has gone for the wrong niche the entire time. Camera is something they're known for. And it's just, the screens are great, but it's just like, I think if they would have gone for PlayStation customers, like they started to back in the day in 2000, what was it, like, I think it was 2012, 2014 maybe, the PSP phone. That phone was really such a great concept. And if they really would have done better with it and kind of evolved it, I think they really could have had something. They could have ported over so many PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 games, had it exclusively on Sony phones. If they had done that back then and kept it going all the way till now to where you have PS3, you know, games on Android smartphones, on exclusively on their Android smartphones, I think they could have really at least taken a 5% market share easily just by doing that. Saw both reviews, they're amazing. Sent you an amazing take. I was sent a couple days ago. Oh, did you just email it to me now or something? I haven't seen it. Should I wait for the S22 Ultra or get the S21 Ultra? I would probably wait for the S22 at this point. That is me. Unless you get a really good deal on the S21 Ultra. If you get it for way less expensive price, then yeah, I would maybe go for it. But I wouldn't spend over $1,000 on the S21 Ultra right now. So, you know, and you'll be able to get deals like that. You'll be able to get it for $1,000. It was for Prime Day. It was, I think, at $1,000 if I'm not mistaken. So there are definitely deals that you can get like that. So just look out for them. But yeah, guys, as I said at 9 p.m., we were going to stop because of all the fireworks, and they're only getting worse right now. So we will put an end to the show today. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. I always do appreciate it. If you can, before you leave, please give a like, thumbs up down below. It really helps out the channel, and we got some good stuff coming this week from some helium mining updates that are really cool, some really cool new smartphones. We did review the OnePlus 9. Obviously, I did the tips and tricks one last week, and some other things coming out on the TCL phones. Ugh. I got things to shoot with the TCL. All right, so yeah, lots of stuff coming this week, and also lots of headphones. Geez, guys, we have headphones. 3 new headphones. Gonna be checking them all out. So those will be coming too. All right, guys. Thank you guys always so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy.
Thank you so much again for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below.